Welcome to I Am LIVin LE'GaCee, where Black stories breathe and legacies live. I'm your host, Dr. G, and this is our soft, sacred space, a place where everyday voices hold extraordinary truth. Here, we gather the lived wisdom of our people, life lessons, joys, grief, resilience, and love, passed down through generations. In a world that has worked hard to erase our histories, this is our resistance. We remember, we speak, we carry forward. These stories are not just memories, they are maps, they are mirrors, they are medicine. So settle in, take a breath. You belong here. Welcome back to I Am LIVin LE'GaCee. Today, I'd like to take you back to the roots of my own story. My family, my upbringing, my neighborhood, my foundation. This episode is an offering, a way to honor the people who shaped me, both those still here and those who have transitioned. Their sacrifices, their love, and their wisdom are the ground I stand on. How many of us know the love of a mother? My mom, one of the kindest people I know, was the first person who gave me my voice. She allowed me to speak my truth and to share my feelings. She taught me empathy, to understand the world around me and to recognize that life shows up differently for each of us. Through her, I learned that my voice mattered and that compassion was as powerful as strength. Then there was my grandmother, a force to be reckoned with, and one of the wisest women I know. Listening to her experiences with segregation taught me the power of resilience and determination. She was a proud Black woman who knew her own strength, and she passed that knowingness of self down to me, reminding me to walk boldly in who I am. My grandfather was a man of few words. He didn't speak much, but he didn't have to. His life spoke for him. He was a provider, steady and dependable. His quiet strength taught me that love is not always loud. It's often shown in the daily work of providing for those you love. And finally, my aunt. She cared for me not just like an aunt, but like a mother. She was the one filled with laughter who boldly stepped into the world like her own mother before her. She understood that life was a gift never to be taken for granted. And she taught me to see the cup as half full, to find joy, even in the hardest moments. Just as my family gave me love, strength, and wisdom, the classrooms I sat in gave me roots of a different kind. My early years were shaped by Black educators who saw me. They poured into me, not only with lessons from books, but with lessons for life, providing me with a deep belief in who I could become. Their classrooms went beyond academics. They were sacred spaces where confidence was planted and watered. It is because of that foundation, from profound Black educators in my formative years, my mom being the first, that I was prepared for my time at Southern University at New York. Suno was more than a campus, it was a community. The Black professors and faculty not only educated us, they nurtured us, they challenged us, they held us to a higher standard because they knew what was at stake. That foundation catapulted me forward all the way to sitting in the doctoral seat at Tulane University. And I know without question, it was that Black love, those Black educators, my Black neighbors, and that Black excellence that carried me. And while my classroom shaped me, my neighborhood shaped me too. I grew up in one of the first Black subdivisions built in 1955 during segregation, the Jim Crow era, the now historical Pontchartrain Park, a dream carved from the sweat and sacrifice of my grandparents. With only a 5th grade and 8th grade education, they built a life that opened doors not just for me, but for my mom, my older brother, and generations that followed. In that neighborhood, it wasn't only family who raised me, it was community. Neighbors nurtured us like their own, correcting us when needed, protecting us when it mattered, and celebrating us as if our futures were their own. We were bound together not just by streets and houses, but by a shared belief that every child carried possibility, and that it was our duty to help that possibility bloom. And so, when I look back at my life, here is what I know. This is my story. There was always love. There was always compassion. There was always room for me. Room for that little Black girl to learn about the world, to make mistakes, to see the true faces of empathy and forgiveness, and to discover the power of possibility. Before we close, I'd like to invite you into a sacred pause. Take a deep breath. Who are the people who built your wings? And how will you honor them now? What lessons from that village are you carrying forward into your legacy? Across the African continent, various traditions remind us that children belong to all of us. Their cultural wisdom embodies love that understands I am what I am because of who we all are. Everyone shares responsibility for the well-being of a child. To my mom, you gave me my voice, and you continue to be my safe place. The kindness in you is the foundation in me. To hear your voice and still hold you close is a blessing I will never take for granted. Throughout the years, you shouldered so much with grace. You held our family with unwavering care, and you still pour that love into each of us. I love you. To my grandmother, you are my anchor, my teacher, and my fire. You planted in me the courage to stand tall and the wisdom to walk proud. You were the matriarch, the flame, the heartbeat of our family, and I carry your spirit always. I miss you, and I hope I've made you proud. To my grandfather, the man of a few words, whose silence spoke volumes, you taught me that actions speak louder than words, showing love through steadfast provision and quiet strength. You led by example, teaching me that consistency is its own kind of poetry, and for that I am eternally grateful. Rest in power. And to my aunt, you were laughter embodied, stepping boldly into the world with a spirit that mirrored your mother's. You reminded me that life is a gift not to be taken for granted, and you showed me how to see the cup as half full. Even in your absence, I carry your joy with me, letting it light my path in the hardest times, in the greatest moments. May your light continue to guide us. Legacies aren't built alone. They are rooted in the people who came before us, their dreams, their sacrifices, their wisdom. May we continue to honor them by how we live, how we speak, and how we love. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of I Am Living Legacy. Until next time, may we honor the families who raised us, the communities that shaped us, and the foundations they paid for us, so that legacy could live on.